Welcome back, guys. Dust 2, sorry for the delay waiting for the teams to jump in, but it is going to be map 2. Na'Vi, as we can quickly take a peek at, already up 1-0 after a pretty dominant, and specifically dominant by Guardian, dominant Inferno half. It's now going to have to be a huge comeback from Dignitas on Dust 2, I think.
Nah, I'd have to agree with that, as I'm sure Guardian's going to come out just as strong on this map, and Dust 2... it's got to be a fun map for him specifically, as there is a lot of cool places for him to op. Specifically, the mid in Dust 2 in general is much different than every other map, and then we have such a quick engagement so early on in every round. His
reaction time is so quick. Yeah, you can argue Kenny S looks insane in reactions. Kenny S is really good at fighting close fights, but Guardian's reactions are so quick that he's one of the people that can most consistently hit the mid-peak from T side, so you have to watch for that. Every time you cross against Guardian, there's a chance you're going to lose damage, if not die.
And you might just have to commit a smoke to it, and that's just one piece of utility that you can't use anywhere else, and it actually gets rid of some of your own vision up mid.
To be fair of that, you can also fire, though, you can fire the HE grenade out, which a lot more teams are doing in the European meta. There's not actually that many in North America that have adapted that yet, but the HE grenade it's the same investment, but it doesn't have as much effect later in the round, so by saving the smoke, you actually have more defensive positioning to use that over on the B side or even on the A side, depending on who pops that out. Because I know Taz, when he throws the smoke, he's an A player. He throws it for Virtus Pro so they can cross. But if you just lob out that nade, nades don't do as much. You can get across, but you got to be right on the top of it because it's only there for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of make it across very quickly, but it looks like to start things off, Na'Vi going with the B-side play, and it's going to be Dignitas to meet them with an aggressive upper play, but it's Guardian to take down MSL. Pimp now trying to play from card. Guardian, though, hitting shots. They don't realize AZ is still at card, though, and he's going to get 2 before going down. But now Bombsight is in control of Na'Vi.
What a shot by Nico.
Wow.
Caught Flamey before his feet even were put back on the ground, so he's out. But now it's going to be Nico to come back through the window, try and catch out the last 2 remaining players. But they've got a good pinch setup right now because Kirby's coming around. Again, Guardian started off this round with 2 big kills, starting off just like he did in the last map. But it didn't amount to anything because AZ was at closet, like you mentioned. And here comes Nico through the window. That's the hard part. Now he's inside the site, and he already finds Zeus. This is a world of trouble for C's. Then he realizes, unfortunately, he can't look 2 places at once. He can't do it at all. It's going to be Dignitas picking up a pistol, finally. Only their 2nd pistol out of the last 3 maps.
And to be fair, you don't generally, you take down 2 players on the B site, and part of you thinks that that's going to be all the players. There might be a quick rotate that comes in from the door quick, but the fact that they had 3 in there, you kill 2, and then they still have that player at car. And again, that's definitely one of the highlight plays in that round for me, is those 2 frags from the car position. But nonetheless, Dignitas pick up the round, and now we got scouts out to play. 2 on the Na'Vi side, as they've got Edward with an armored eagle, and actually everybody with upgraded pistols that didn't pick up those scouts. Oh my god, Edward.
Nice shot with the deagle to start it off, but keep in mind we have a scout as well on the CT side for Nico, so there is 3 of them out.
Plenty of scouts to play as Nico might actually be tested. He spots the barrel of Guardian as he's jumping around on catwalk, trying to see over that smoke, it looks like. And he's going to send a flashbang out from a ramp. Na'Vi very posted up right now on catwalk, and MSL, this is leaving room for him to lurk into lower dark.
Excellent shot from Guardian to open it up. That's Nico that drops down scout. Not even an op, but Guardian's still wreaking havoc. Edward, he's going to fire long range with the SMG. The problem is that he's going to run out of ammo, so he has to swap to the pistol. He gets caught in the process. Flamey at least making up for it, catches Kirby, but MSL, he finds himself suddenly aware that he's in a really tight position and they might get ecoed, so congratulations, you finally win a pistol. You may not get much more than that because the MP9 has 2 scouts and an M4, excuse me, against him and seized with the jump shot. Still not nerfed, Valve. We'll take that down, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Na'Vi is going to come back and take that second round thereafter, and we all know what that means. Economy is just completely demolished on the CT side. So we'll see if they opt to go for a bit of a force buy. And that looks to be the call, as we see 2 scouts, actually a total of 3 still on the field. Same as last round, only 2 now on the CT side and 1 on the T side on Guardian. And he actually gets tagged up early. So drop down to 35 in T-spawn. We'll see how they try and work around this, as that's obviously the main benefit of these scouts at long range. You can tag up players, your upgraded pistol players can take them down later once they come into those close range territory.
MSL, he's going to come back over. They have a decent setup right now. If MSL can distract, but he doesn't. He gets taken down by Seized. That means there's a lot of pressure going on in that position right now, but Nico, meanwhile, he pops back out. He will find Edward. And Easy, who was on top of the boxes just outside the entrance from B, we saw what he could do. And it's just a battle of kangaroos in this game these days with these goddamn scouts. And Zeus, he'll take down Nico. And Kirby, he's on 1 HP, but Guardian... The wonderful thing about Tiggers is that Tiggers are wonderful things. They bounce and bounce and bounce and get scout shots in the process.
That is the truth, as, yeah, we saw those come out in good form in that round. Now, Na'Vi moving up 2-1. Dignitas, obviously, they invested pretty heavily in that last round, didn't get a heck of a lot for it, so going with the default pistols, and once again, Guardian just warming up his scoped rifle as he actually tags MSL. So later in this map, I'm sure we're going to see that with the op, and obviously very effective if he can get that cross every time, but they're going to try and take it towards B, as it is going to be Zeus and C's to open up first and foremost. Pimp found 1 for himself, but I don't know how much more they're going to be able to get in this round as Kirby gets dropped to a single hit point.
That's pretty problematic when he's in a 1-on-4. He does have a Tech 9, or a Tech 9, excuse me, a P90 rather. Which, in my opinion, by the way, you got to think back. This is one of the other discussions that I kind of alluded to the fact that at some point I want to talk about money on halftime. But one of the things with the P90 was it was nerfed for being overpowered to down to a $300 kill reward. All the other SMGs stayed at 600. Well, they all got buffed, and they're still at 600. So where's the consistency there from Valve? They've got to look into that money system. They basically have made changes in the past that they don't include when they make the forward ones, and there needs to be a balance brought back in there, in my opinion. So anyway, just something to think about.
Yeah, no, makes sense to me, as that's why I never buy the P90. It's just not worth it, because a rifle, it's giving you the same amount of monetary situation there per kill. But nonetheless, round 5 underway, and we can see we're going to try and take up catwalk here once again on the T side. I'm going to have Seized leading the charge. I have a really weird, I've never seen this GoTV bug. Seized is actually a ghost for me. He actually doesn't exist. I can see all his guns around his body. And
you can still see the X. Oh, okay. Yeah. The X-ray still exists. We've seen that a few times.
It's an interesting one, but again, they're trying to take up catwalk. Nico going to be the first line of defense as he's has his op out on the field, and actually nice pop flash as Guardian. Wow, Nico partially white screen takes down Guardian. That's a big frag to try and stop this A-side play as Pimp follows it up as C's goes down. So 3-on-5. this is looking not so bad. But that being said, they are getting the bomb set, and it is planted for Catwalk.
Edward's going to go for this quick smoke. That allows him to slide out. Pardon me, Zeus allows him to slide over. But Nico has spotted him. That op. Little does he know he's directly on top of his position.
Yeah, right.
This is one of those times at LAN where I can't make that call just in case the player can hear you, because all he does is click his mouse at that point. And because he doesn't, Zeus pops out late. Na'Vi just sweep up the round. It's 4-1. And fairly effective as well. They'll keep the 2 M4s so they won't have to upgrade onto AKs. It does take away a lot of the headshot potential, knowing that head armor becomes more of a case on CT, but they're not even going to be able to go for that. They could have gone for the force. They're not. They're going to stick with just the pistol buy.
And it's interesting that last round in that they smoked off Catwalk, and that's kind of how Na'Vi, again, the way they planted, you want to have control of Long or Cat, usually one of the two. And the way they smoked off, it actually kind of had them stuck on the platform, but as I'm speaking, my goodness, everybody gets dropped immediately. That was a quick round, so that was a flawless one, and Na'Vi at this point, their economic situation is out of control. This is brutal. $15,500 for Zeus, $13,000 for Flamey. My God, they're going to be buying for days. Even if Dignitas picks up a round, they now have to chunk against the economy of Na'Vi.
I mean, that's 6 rounds in that we're talking about max money right now. That's utterly insane, and 1 death to go against them. So at some point there was a buy. That would have been on the pistol round, the second round, when they lost. Remember, they've lost pistol and now have 5 in a row. Zeus is going to flash himself through. Oh, that was fortunate, because he dodges his own flash as a result, looking to the corner where Kirby thought he could go ahead and hide. And Zeus gets the kill as a result, so that was opportunity if it ever presented itself. But Pimp, he gets back with 2. This slows them down a little bit. There's still a man down on Dignitas' side, and unfortunately Pimp turned all his attention onto Catwalk, forgot that seized her. Potentially another player would still be there, and in this case it was seized. Flamey comes up, checks elevator, Dignitas. They're all gone.
They are all gone indeed, as 6-1 the score line. And still, the economic situation not good on the CT side. They are actually going to force up a little bit. Pimp grabs a scout, just kind of even up how much money he has, and they actually get that smoke down from mid just so they don't get picked by Guardian. And again, I like that you highlighted the fact that a lot of teams are now using that HE grenade because it produces a little bit of visual
aid, I guess you could call it.
Yeah,
it just prohibits vision.
Exactly. So, and that to cross, like you said, it's much less valuable than utilizing a smoke, and that's what we just saw Dignitas will use one smoke just to get across. MSL is going to get a nice deagle shot through the double doors onto Guardian, finds an op for it, and actually the bomb is down underneath his feet. Do I think he's going to be able to hold here? I don't think so, but he does have a chance.
Flash goes through, but look at this. Zeus is already up Catwalk. MSL's going to get caught in the back, and AZ now finds himself in the unfortuitous position of being 1 against 1,000,000. And Zeus only needs 1 in 1,000,000. He's going to take down him and make it 7-1. And again, this is all 7 in a row. So max money bonus is going out for Dignitas. They're using it, but how effectively is the big question. Somehow Pimp, okay, he did just buy it, didn't update in the money. I was like, somehow Pimp has $6,500 still, but it updated.
All the money to play with.
This round they do have more to work with based on the fact that they went for more of a save last round, and they have utilities, so this is the most full buy they've had in those 7 rounds, arguably. So they have to take advantage of this, because by buying this heavily, they're going to be on a force next round, even with that bonus. And look at this, Flamey through the smoke. MSL thought he would do the same and get cheeky with them. It catches them off. They need to play conservative and passive in these positions. If you're going to try and take those aggressive peeks through smoke, it's just nothing's going for you. Why should you expect that's suddenly going to change? You have to change your style to make it work.
Exactly. As it's going to be Nico to find 1, Pimp with 1 as well, but sees his trade is good and allows them to bring it up onto Catwalk. In the meantime, though, Edward goes down to Kirby, so a 2-on-3. Zeus, if he can find this frag on a Pimp. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Zeus struggle like that in a little while, but he does end up finishing the frag on a Pimp, so 2-on-2 is, they actually have the CTs very split up. So if Kirby goes down and long, as Zeus does spot him out, but gets dropped, it's only Guardian left, and quite honestly, this is definitely the player I'd like last one alive in a clutch situation.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It still is Guardian, and you can't rule them out. I mean, Dignitas, again, they have to win this round. Unfortunately, they've also not been efficient, so they've got 2 players up. Even if they win it, they need to win it with 2 up right now. And Guardian's going to make that hard with bomb down and having an op. He could actually still pull this whole round back, specifically now that he's got that fire out on Kierby. But even if they win this with only 2 up, they're going to have the worst buy in the next round. They're going to be the ones on the down foot because they've invested so much in, and resetting the money bonus is really going to hurt them. They need to time this peak out. 1 on 2, unfortunately out of ammo. Kierby, how does he not find the shot? And that smoke limited Nico's ability to even be able to peek him. That almost still got one more, but so now they win it. They'll reset this money bonus. They invested super heavily. They'll pick up double up. That helps them a little bit because this will be able to drop them over, and even if they're down 1 rifle, they have to go to a FAMAS, which they actually, I think they managed to get out all M4s. They did. This gives them a lot more of a chance to work forward because they were in a position. I mean, even utilities, it's only chest armor and 2 flashes to work with on Pimp.
And we're going to see a quick long play here. Zeus comes out with seized as there's 3 CTs to contest those. Garby finds the first one, but they're spraying him down through the smoke. But he is going to be able to get out of there with 5 HP remaining. AZ actually sticks around, finds 1 for his effort, but Guardian trades off, and it will be a 4 on 3 as they take control of long. I don't know if they're going to continue with this, though, as it is pretty powerful. Oh, Guardian, what a shot as Pimp tries to gather a little bit of information. I don't like that play from him. It's you know that they're out long. What kind of information more are you going to gather? And
yeah, you're going to get caught in no man's land. That's all you're going to do. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems a player or mistakes a player can make in CSGO is even if you're going to peek like that, if you're going to put yourself essentially in somewhere where there's no cover to fall back to, you're giving the opposition the advantage of controlling the peak because all he has to do is slide as you fall, and the further you go, the more angle he has. So getting caught in no man's land is hugely problematic.
And now on a 2 on 3, Nico did spot out Edward as he's going to flash through double doors. He's posted up at Xbox here. And he's actually smoking mid to B and flashing through as well, keeping Nico honest. And on the B side of the map, as it's only KRB at a ramp, a CT ramp rather, and he gets taken down by Guardian. So now the bomb being set, Nico not in a position to go for this at all. He's in a 1 on 3, he's got an op. Yeah, he's got a kit, but at this point, they've got no money coming into the next round, and they're just going to be saving. And we can see the hunt is already on the Safari as Edward heading into Upper Dark, and not going to hit that flick shot as Nico, and his time here, it's not going to last very long as Edward takes him down. So they don't even get the op into the next round, and like we're saying, their economy is busted up here once they lose. Yeah, there's no consecutive round wins, and that was the big downside to their CT side on Inferno as well.
Guardian again, he's the one that can hit those shots, and again, he takes down MSL. Just a reaction. He knows the angles, man. He's so good at calculating where someone's going to land when they jump. So MSL's down low on HP, and look what the other damage is done with Edward. So it's all working for them. Double up, set up T side, and it pays off. Flamey, he'll find MSL, and this is looking, I mean, it's one thing on Inferno when Na'Vi was doing this because there were still reasonably close rounds. Inferno's still tight entries. This is a whole other ball game. Na'Vi's dominating this game, even more so, I would say. And it's not even with Guardian carrying, it's all of them. The frag distribution's pretty tight.
I would agree with that. Guardian's actually second to the bottom at the moment with 9, 2, and 5. Yeah, he's had some really critical kind of pickoffs and that kind of thing. But yeah, like you had suggested, lots more from the rest of the lineup, and makes me think that they're going to finish this off one pretty soundly. But we do have a couple more rounds in the half here, as it's going to be Flamey actually opens up into the B bomb site. 2 players trying to hold from B platform. I don't know if I like that from the CT side, as you're trying to hold players off in Upper Dark that clearly have that range advantage from platform, and you're just hoping that, I think one of the players at least had a deagle in that situation. So yeah, you might be able to find that one deag, but it's definitely asking quite a bit for yourself rather than playing a close angle. But at this point, Nico, he's going to go down. He does find 1, but economically speaking, Na'Vi, you're not going to break their economy. We're on round 13, and they have so much money on the field. They even drop they got an auto sniper in play on C's now.
Yeah, and where's C's spawn? Yeah, near the doors. No surprise. So bam, 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 bam. He tries to kill everyone on the way across.
Flintstone style, I like it.
Unfortunately, he didn't hit any because it would have made the bam bam more effective.
The round's starting off pretty slow here. I'm going to try and take into top mid. Kirby posted up at long A house. And they do have the early pick, but sees there's the auto sniper. The bam bam comes into play, and Nico gets dropped. So 4 on 4. as it looks like they're going to try and take towards mid-doublers. Pimp close in CT spawn, and MSL pushed up in Upper Dark as well. This might work out for them as KRB actually pushes from behind and finds one Pimp with his op. Finds one as well and leaves Edward now in a lonely situation. And it's going to be MSL, drops him from Lower Dark. So nice play there from Dignitas. I just don't know, could it be a little bit too late is the question, as there's already 10 for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, they've got double digits and they still have room to work right now and things. I mean, they've got double op up. There's 5 ops out right now on the map. That's ridiculous. This is just Na'Vi having fun at this point. And Edward, he's going to use his Dragon Lore to take down KRB. Still leaves us with 5 ops over 9 players. But interestingly enough, they used the economies in such a way that they actually dropped off. So they took the initial peaks through mid with the op. They've actually dropped Flamey back to an AK because they had it from the last round. So they're just taking advantage at this point. Easy's going to take advantage of that smoke that's come out. A little bit lackluster, leaves a bit of a gap, so he throws a flash and catches Zeus, but meanwhile it sees to come back on MSL.
And now they're finding some frags. Actually, Nico lands as C's tries to push into B. So it actually creates a 3-on-3. Is that aggression? Maybe not required, but wanted to see what they had for defenses over there. As Guardian gonna take down AZ as he tries to backpedal towards long A pit. Tim coming up from CT spawn. He's gonna take a shot and fall back into the smoke as they have 2 ops in a retake scenario. Not exactly the gear that you would like. Maybe 1 rifle, 1 op in this situation, but they're going to go for it anyhow as Nico spotted a player in top mid. That's actually the bomb carrier as Flamey gets dropped, so now it's actually 2-on-2, 2 ops versus 2 ops. I'm not going to lie, rarely do we see this kind of equipment in a 2-on-2.
Yeah, it's pretty true. Let's be real here. As Nico and Pimp, they've got the problem is they're going for the retake with 2 ops at this point because we just saw them cross over. They've got the site. They can try and open up angles with it. We're actually doing this correctly. They are going to put one on Cat. He's going to switch it entirely. So he thinks this is going to be, Nico thinks this is going to be a plant for long and that someone's going to be heading down to the pit. So far they're not. Pimp, that's aggressive because he goes alone on that peak and now it's 3 ops on 3 players left in a 2-on-1 and Guardian's the one you have to think is the scariest with it, but he's the one that's a man down, doesn't hit the first shot up close. Pimp tries to get around the corner and that Nico smoke to force Guardian back into position, but Guardian up close, 1 on Pimp, and it's very low HP for Nico, so he swaps to the P250 and tears the head off. Pimp went aggressive to go solo on that first peak, but at least it was entertaining with those ops up.
Exactly. Honestly, it's such a pleasure to watch, although Guardian did whiff some shots there. My god, speaking of ops though, 4 on Na'Vi now, and this is just a pick mid. I can't imagine they're going to continue on in the round, as it is the last 1.5. So you get a bunch of scoped rifles, try and pick through mid, doesn't work out. You switch back. Oh,
Guardian in the smoke.
That was a pretty one, as they send a shot through, and apparently they're just keeping all 4 ops in play.
Yeah, I just went back to spawn to check and see if there was AK spotted as well as it is the last half, but they're not. So they are sticking with 4 ops, and it works perfectly. They get everybody. Seas uses the AK to catch MSL and the Tech 9 from Flamey. But this is when you know Na'Vi's having a field day. It's 12-3 at half, and now they head to their CT. Watch for Guardian to go crazy again.
And the last time I saw that many ops, I think it was Fnatic versus Team Acer. This is still, like, I think it's about a week and a half ago now. And Team Acer actually bringing Fnatic to three maps, but on Overpass, the last round of the CT half, Fnatic decided to go 5 ops. And just, they actually ended up losing that round. But still, plenty of ops and plenty of play, but pistol round underway, and it looks like they're going to be heading up long A to start things off as Dignitas.
Late smoke, so Edward spotted AZ, calculated where he was heading, and gets a shot, finds Nico as well, so double USB headshots for him as Pimp. He gets back to Flamey, and that allows MSL to go forward. They're going to plant for Cat, use the proximity of these pistols to try and hold, but Seized is waiting on the backside of it. Out toward middle. McCarebee, MSL, they brought this back into their favor suddenly for Dignitas, but Guardian, he's going to find MSL. Pimp needs to be fast to get back inside the site, and Guardian's gone. It's all left to Seized, 1 on 2. And this is the first chance that Dignitas have had. They won the first pistol, but to really get something rolling economically because it's a fresh start. It's a reset button, and Seized, he's on it inside that smoke. Kirby hears him go for it, and he makes no mistake.
Good stuff from Dignitas to pick up their pistol round, and now they've actually won both pistols. But with only 4 rounds on the board, it actually hasn't done a heck of a lot for them. We'll see if they can get more out of it than, obviously, in the last half. They were sent back into eco territory after losing the second round. Hopefully, for their sake, they don't do it in this round. They're able to secure another one and kind of make this match a little bit closer, as it looks like they will focus towards long. Flamey with a long-distance 5-7 frag, and it's going to be seized to pick one up in Upper Dark as well. So, advantage to Na'Vi. They're able to get favorable engagements, and it's a 4-on-3 as they're trying to get across towards the A platform. They're all tagged, too. My God.
Yeah,
this is a terrifying lineup with scouts.
Yeah, this is the same thing we saw in the first half. They bring out the scouts, double scout, and they make it work perfectly. I mean, Na'Vi's looking so good today. This is actually, I mean, yes, it's against Dignitas, but this is one of the more comfortable games I've seen them play recently.
Yeah, this is a treat to watch. And again, Guardian, there was a couple of situations, again, on the A platform where he was doing the 1-on-2 and such, where he missed a couple of shots, but still, the shots that he's hitting, they're unreal. And, yeah, we're going to see him tag up easy in top mid early on here as well.
You got to remember as well that there's a bit of inconsistency for Dignitas. That's no secret to anyone. And right now, they don't look like they're really getting into it. They won that pistol. You'd think they'd be careful knowing they got ecoed against scouts. As soon as they hear scout shot, they should have slowed things down and readjusted. Yeah. And they just haven't. They're making a lot of careless mistakes over and over again. And, I mean, now they're going to go for Tech 9s. They've got a Mac 10 on Kierby, and it's, I mean, this is pretty aggressive to try and stop this before it goes too far. Unfortunately, it's 14 rounds. This is not looking likely, not the way that Na'Vi's playing at all.
Yeah, they're going to go for a B bust here, and we'll see if it can be successful. Already 3 CTs alive to try and fend this off. Easy with 1, Pimp with 1 as well. But that's going to be the extent of their success. 204 damage with Naves. Edward. A lot of damage done as they came on in. Yeah, that was very, very quick. And at this point, yeah, Dignitas seemed to be just trying to find little things to make it work. But with the B-bus like that, it's looking pretty bleak for them.
And that means, yeah, again, Edward, he already starts it off. The ops back out. We've got 2 again here. It's Seized, not Guardian, who has the AK. And Zeus will take down Kierby. Pimp's going to try and work back in through middle. They have an AK out, but it's the only rifle left, and it's no head armor. It's only chest. That nade, it lands directly on top of AZ. He goes down to 46. MSL goes down to 0. Pimp drops out as well. And that's going to do it. 16-4, even more dominant in the second map from Na'Vi. They'll pick it up, and just like that, they're the first team, believe it or not, in Group B to win.